Today we are traveling to a little town called Northport, Maine, where a very established design build company shows us their showroom and how they sell Bridgewood. Northport has a population of 1,503 and a median income of $59,000. The town of Northport, Maine comprises of 24.7 miles. Thank you for joining us today for Bridgewood on Tour. So, my name is Amy Porter. I work for Bridgewood Cabinetry, and I'm sitting here with Donna Jackson today in Northport, Maine. I happened upon Donna as her rep about a year ago. I walked into the showroom, and first of all, I was just hoping that you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit about your background as a kitchen designer.
Well, it was something I stumbled into. It wasn't something that I really knew much about going to college. I went to school for graphic design, and I was always artistically inclined. I always wanted to be an artist. But what led me to kitchen design was 1987. My husband went on strike with Eastern Airlines, and a friend of his is an architect and needed a kitchen designer. He taught me CAD. He sold wood mode at the time, and it was the big oak kitchen and powder blue countertops. Wow. The big, but it all started way back when in New York and Long Island, and I haven't turned back since. So that is 33 years ago.
Wow.
I know.
And you've been using 2020 the whole time for design?
No. 2020 wasn't really available in the 80s. It was more the beginning of AutoCAD. Mm-hmm. And it was hand drawing, architectural drawings, the blueprint machines. They were blueprints. You erased them. Yep. And redrew them every single time. But it was a great learning experience because I learned from someone who was really good. And when I left there, I went to another gentleman in Huntington, Long Island, who was the president of the NKBA, and great people to learn under, and working with architects. So I got lucky, and I started from great teachers.
There's nothing better than finding that right person to teach you kitchen design, because there's so many ways to go wrong.
Yeah, and when you work for good people, it's easy to like what you're doing, and to love what you're doing and seeing the end product. And then when, especially when you're starting, you're insecure, and when people start liking what you're doing and offering, and what you start finding what you love about what you do. And one of those things is seeing something that you've done that someone loves, and it comes to fruition and they're happy with it. I felt like Bridgewood has been very good at answering questions anytime I call.
You have called Tracy, I know, a couple of times. Have you worked with anyone else there?
I call everybody. Mm-hmm. I talk to everybody in every department, and I am chatty.
That might be why we hit it off.
Yeah, but you know, it's I think too, I have a tendency to press the button sometimes before, and I can figure the answer out myself before that point, but you know, everybody's really good.
All right, so Donna, you did a beautiful display here. I was wondering if you could give us a little review of what you put in. You did some outside the box type of applications, and I love how you used this pantry. Maybe you could start with that.
Okay, well, the pantry is actually a linen cabinet that I used for this display because I like the 4-drawer base that it's lining up with this here, and I like the various depths, so I like to go with that as well. So then they have the option of full depth adjustable shelves and space storage.
So next we have this beautiful beaded cabinet that she put in there, and then the corner unit, then just a base angled type Susan. Mm-hmm. But I love what you did here with a butcher block type unit. Can you tell us what you did there? I know that was a little more custom, not typical.
No, I wanted to show off what you had available in a small limited space that I have in my showroom, but some of the finer cabinets that you have to offer. And I just thought that this was beautiful, and then it had the detailed, the beaded beadboard end.
Yep.
That mimics this cabinet right here with the open shelf. So I think they really beautifully play on each other, even though this is a contemporary looking design with contemporary elements, with the flip up and the floating shelf. It still fits a Maine coast feeling. It's warm.
Right. I love that you did this flip up door hinge option here. So different.
Yes, and it's set nice so that if you're not tall, you don't have to open it all the way. So it's not gonna be hard to get to it once. And I'm 5'4", I'm a normal height.
The other thing that's nice about that is you don't see that type of a hinge very often in a more traditional type kitchen. So I thought that was really fun that you incorporated that there instead of it being in like a era series type. We did it in a more mission style cabinet. So this is Naughty Alder in shale. And
with a slab drawer and a 5-panel door.
These two units, if you are looking for nomenclature, this butcher block type end piece is an IEBE 1D24 that she did modify. And then this pantry was actually a linen tower, wasn't it?
A linen tower.
She was getting real sneaky because she wanted some different depth and decided that that would look good. And I think it looks amazing with the jog in the cabinetry. And so that one's an LCDA 2190L.
That's 21 inches deep. The nice thing about it too is they do the adult height where the drawers are, so they line up perfect with your standard kitchen height.
Yeah.
So that works out really nicely. And there's not too much I had to alter to that. I don't like when the countertops are stuck right next to it. So there's just like a little filler here in between.
Smart planning. We all run into that.
You want to flush panel the side if you can. You know, you want to flush out the sides.
That looks great.
My favorite corner, Susan, for all the kitchens that I do, because I really don't, I'm not a big proponent of the pie hinge because it's such a heavy door. I do like a diagonal base, Susan, that these are on a solid shelf so it's not wobbly. And these are maple and they spin around beautifully. There's no post in the center so you don't have that wobble. Huge use of a corner storage unit. So that's one of my favorite things I like to offer, as well as on a diagonal cabinet. I like to get Susan's on an adjustable shelf, as well as the bottom one. Not so much on the top, it's not necessary because people aren't accessing them all the time. But this is a nice way that people, my height, normal height for women, can just access the back of their cabinet for any kind of spices. There's a little storage space here for little things to put on the sides as well of these. You're not wasting space on this, Susan, by any means, because you have a shelf. But it's a great way to access things that normally you can't.
I feel like you made the best use of a small space here. I love the way it turned out. At first when I saw it, I was like, how are we gonna make this look good? You found a way.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, everybody has their own taste, but if I wouldn't put it in my own kitchen, I wouldn't design it and show it in my showroom.
Here are some of the examples of TaylorMade's work, the design build part of their company, the most beautiful Maine coastal homes with unique style. If you have design needs in Maine, you can contact Donna Jackson at 207-338-5343, cornerstonekitchens.biz. If you are a dealer and are interested in selling our line, please contact info@bridgewoodcabinetry.com. So I want to thank you for your time today, Donna, and allowing us to have a little tour.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure with you, Amy.
Oh, well, that's mutual.
COVID.
Maybe with COVID going on, but sorry. Thank you for watching.